And I want to first of all get your perspective on how the NAIRA has traded this week. It's beginning to weaken slightly, but clearly I think the big news from last week was the strength that we've seen in the NAIRA recently. But can you just talk us through your thoughts on why we've seen a change in the sentiment for the NAIRA right now?
Well, the NAIRA depreciated a little bit this week, partly because some money was expected from NNPC that didn't show up. The demand in the market wasn't so high. The WDAS that we saw on Monday was actually trading at $50 million was on offer, but a record $29.88 million was sold. This is the lowest that we've seen since October 2009, and the reason for this is mainly because the price on the WDAS is about the same or actually higher than the interbank market.
Right. The
WDAS was at an effective rate of 155.32, and the interbank traded between 156.40 and 157.34.
All right, let's move on to discussion around cocoa, soft commodities. The cocoa futures fell by about 3.4% this week. A lot of activity around West Africa, of course, we are producing most of the cocoa that the world consumes today. But talk us through your thoughts on the volatility we're seeing in the cocoa price now and where you think it's headed.
Well, cocoa has fallen significantly since the highs it found in 2011 during the Ivory Coast violence, and more recently, about a few months ago in September, it reached a peak of 2,700. It's declined significantly since then, and it's currently trading at about 2,337, which is the lowest since July 22nd, I believe. The main reason for this, again, is the European Union. It's going through a major crisis and has seen further weakening this week. Because of that, I should highlight the point that the Eurozone is actually one of the top consumers of cocoa, and because of their crisis, cocoa is actually pretty low in demand.
Right.
Germany saw about 30% retracement, 30% decrease in demand in the last quarter alone. So until the Eurozone actually picks up, I don't see significant increases in the price of cocoa. In fact, I think it's going to go towards the sub 2-3 levels in the short to medium term.
Perhaps one factor for that is the dynamic we're seeing between Ivory Coast and Ghana, some illegal exports from Ivory Coast into Ghana. I heard that is changing. Can you just talk us through the reasons for that?
Yes, actually it's sort of supporting the prices. Currently in Ivory Coast there's a marketing body that controls the price of cocoa being sold, and sometimes this is considered unfair, their prices, by farmers and merchants alike. So they tend to do a lot of cross-border contraband selling to Ghana, where the prices tend to be more favorable. But Ghana is experiencing falling currency. Their currency value is actually falling, and because of delays in payment of cocoa prices, the movement has been a bit stalled between Ivory Coast and Ghana. Another thing supporting these prices is Nigeria's flooding situation. Nigeria is the 4th largest cocoa producer, but at the moment, the flooding in the south and southeast cocoa producing states like Edo and Cross River have reduced the outlook on cocoa presently. The cocoa industry expected 300,000 metric tons of cocoa this year, which is significantly higher than the 250,000 metric tons that we usually see. But due to this flooding, they've had to reduce that outlook a little bit.
All right, so you're saying the floods are impacting production from Nigeria, but how bad is it, and to what extent do you think this will impact the long-term targets for the country?
Well, it's not easy to say right now because there are still initiatives being taken by the government to boost cocoa prices. Again, you should note that the major producing states in Nigeria are actually in the southwest, which isn't affected by the flooding. Ondo State had the government distribute the first batch of a 3.6 million 3.6 seedling distribution that it's part of its initiative. It's distributing cocoa seedlings to farmers for free to boost their production and encourage people to actually plant more cocoa. So although there's a negative outlook from what was previously forecasted, it is hard to gauge by how much it could affect the output. It's still an estimate as of now.
And of course, that forecast is for 500,000 metric tons, I believe, by 2015.
Yes, the initiative is actually aimed at increasing Nigeria's output of cocoa from 250,000 to 500,000 metric tons. But I mean, considering where Nigeria is coming from, Nigeria was actually one of the top producing countries, and we've fallen significantly since 1961. So these are initiatives to concentrate the income coming into the country from the oil producing sector to agricultural sector, which was pretty significant in the past.